Oh, hello there. Site 42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, punctual as always. I am Dr. Theron Sherman, and today is my second day with you here in the Audiophonics Lab. Welcome back to Records and Archives. We're always busy around archives and records, to be sure. And so welcome to another coffee break with Dr. Sherman. Well, I guess a sparkling water break with Dr. Sherman, but you know. And so, as always, I am here taking a little time out of my day because it is important for us to teach people about the inner workings of the Foundation if they're going to work here. So, whether you guys have questions about anomalies or groups of interest or our staff or hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies that are outside of our jurisdiction because they're from a different parallel dimension or some sort of, I haven't gotten the time to look into pataphysics, but they call them like narrative levels. Well, that is what we are here today for. But before I begin to answer questions, Legendary Doge, congratulations on being the first member of our Containment Hazard Assessment Team to chat today. Welcome. And then Mr. Scum, Sin, Junior Researcher Sally, Director Ethan, A.A. Blackwood. Oop, the chat skipped on me. Let me come back. Amber, Trey, Puppet Boy, Mr. Scum, again. Christadire Wolfboy, Rose, Director Ethan, Silent Follower, Alki. Desk, always good to see ya. Researcher Voidell, Zeirdrin. Good to see you all in the chat so early, and thank you for being members. Meanwhile, Zombie Cat, Agatha, Lima, Nightjar, Dr. Puppeteer, and Phantasmic Jenny. Welcome to chat. Thank you for being punctual, just for being you. So today we're going to be having a fun little hour-ish of conversation about the inner workings of the Foundation. That's what we're here for. Meanwhile, Christadire Wolfboy, thank you for your first donation to today's containment stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some potatoes if they've got the commissary back. After hearing about it being missing yesterday, I'm not sure if it's back or not, but, well, you'll be the first to tell me. You are Site 42 Director. No, that's Site Director Steve. I am a Level 2 Archivist and Record Keeper, transcribing documents as fast as they can be sent my way. Deet Speedy and Jackson Pomney, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Someone get a hold of author Sherman on the higher pataphysical level than us? Well, I wouldn't even know where to begin reaching up to higher pataphysical levels. I still haven't studied pataphysics, by the way. GCMT, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some schnitzel if the commissary's still there. I am a normal researcher. Well, that is most of the people we have around here, that's right. Do you remember who Dr. Hammond is? Well, yes, that's that fellow we looked into yesterday in the SCP-049 article. Weird parallel universe stuff going on there. I'm not sure about that. But, poor guy. Dr. Sherman, listen to me. Don't drink the sparkling water. Those contain amnestics. You are the site director of Site 42. Steve did this to you. If you get a migraine, let it happen. What? What? Is this some sort of test? I don't know. I mean, I poured this from my own can, so it wasn't tampered with in any way that I know of. Meanwhile, Site Director Steve has been nothing but nice. In fact, this morning, he ran this thing he calls the Foundation Fitness Initiative. Oh, it's such a good idea. We all do a morning workout together. That way, we're all just a little more in shape for when you need to maybe run during a containment breach, which they assure me doesn't happen very often. But it's good to be in better shape. It's good for your mind. They serve very healthy breakfasts, and you can I have an omelet, and it comes with supplements and vitamins. It's like a side of 15 pills with your breakfast every morning. It's kind of insane, but it's all for better health, and so that's a good thing. You have been site director for years, Dr. Sherman. If you were level 2, you wouldn't be in my hecking object show. I mean, I've been level 2 researcher for a little bit, but like 3 months, that's about it before they let me talk to you guys. And, well, what's an object show? 15 or 50 pills. Oh, Amber, it's 15. 1-5. 50 would be a ridiculous number. No, it's just vitamins, supplements, things to improve your physicality for when the day comes when you have to escape a dangerous situation, that's all. Do you remember Dr. Chair? That's a strange name. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Dr. Sherman, what kind of pills? Well, they're vitamin supplements, you know, little brown ones, little clearish yellowy ones, little orange ones with letters on them, a couple that are this dark maroon color. It's an assortment. It comes in the little white paper cup, you know. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. If the commissary's still there, why don't you grab yourself some fish and chips on your way past? Director Sherman, the researcher Sherman, please, let's not give me a big ego right now. Someone put me in a box, help. I keep telling them I'm a researcher. Despite being a dragon, I've been working as a researcher for a year. Well, if you're an anomalous researcher, that's not absolutely uncommon here at the Foundation, so I feel as if they should take your word for it. Did you leave your ID badge in your room or something? I see a notification that a Ko-Fi came through. I'm going to check that real quick. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for your first Ko-Fi donation of the day. Thank you for going through the effort so YouTube doesn't take their cut. Does a shave and a haircut knock? Huh. Interesting. It seems familiar, but I don't know. Maybe I've heard that somewhere before. Why am I in a cell with an orange jumpsuit that says D023? Well, intern Slop, it sounds like you might be either a D class who got a phone, which is against protocol, so if that's the case, you should return that phone before there's any sort of punishment involved. Otherwise, it's possible you are in quarantine for possibly being anomalous. It has happened in the past. Sometimes researchers develop anomalies when they're working with other anomalies, so if that's the case, then maybe once they're done testing, they'll let you back out. TB Rangel, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Sherman, don't you remember that you're a site director? I get that you don't remember that you're a site director. Well, I wouldn't remember something that never happened. But when you first got here, did you have any deja vu? Did you feel like you've been here before? Well, every audiophonics lab basically looks alike, so I guess you could say I had some deja vu about it. Did anyone mention SCP-4521 last stream to get him to remember? Well, I don't quite remember that document number, but I have a whole database here to check it out. Codename, please raise your voice. My hearing isn't what it used to be. What a strange codename. SCP-4521 is a Douglas fir tree with abnormal shape and leaves. SCP-4521 was discovered within God's Silence, Oregon, after reports of a, quote, ear-piercing silence from within the tree's vicinity. An ear-piercing silence. Very interesting. Amnestics were administered, and SCP-4521 was transported by implanted Foundation agents to Site-551. Currently, SCP-4521's anomalous property is that it is incapable of screaming. No apparatuses were found on SCP-4521 that allow it to scream. Attempting to create one has been met with failure. See testing log. Attempts are being made to provoke screaming within SCP-4521. But trees don't scream. Not in my experience, anyways. Interesting. Carve a mouth on 4521 is the first test? You can carve a hole into a tree. It doesn't mean it's going to scream. Use an extremely hot branding iron to imprint the word slave onto the base of the tree? What in tarnation are they doing over here? I might need to report this document to the higher-ups and see if they can figure out what these researchers are working on. Terragal, thank you for donating again. No, I showed them my ID. They didn't care. And what do you mean, researcher? You're a director. Don't tell me to use Amnestics on you. Well, I seem to remember everything clearly about being a level 2 researcher. I haven't forgotten anything to my knowledge. Harvey Bishop, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a corn on the cob, if the commissary is still there, I guess. Yesterday they said it was closed or gone or something. Let me know if it's there if you see it. Hey, man, they still haven't collected the chickens, and now at least I count 10. Chickens? I'm not sure what you're talking about with chickens, but are they anomalous chickens? Do they need to be picked up? That would be something that Site Director Steve would authorize. Legendary Doge, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of pizza on your way past the commissary if it is still there. Read about Deja Vu. It might explain some things. Wow. People are speaking French in my chat for some reason. I guess we are a worldwide secretive organization, so it's not shocking. What is that? Jamais vu, French for never seen, is a memory phenomenon where a familiar person, place, or situation suddenly feels new and unfamiliar, despite knowing it's actually familiar. It's considered the opposite of deja vu, the feeling of having already experienced something. It's thought to result from a temporary disconnection or miscommunication between different brain areas, such as the temporal lobes and the hippocampus, which are involved in memory and recognition. Jamais vu can be experienced by healthy individuals, though it's sometimes associated with neurological conditions like epilepsy or migraines. Well, I was having a bunch of migraines yesterday, so, maybe I should take a rest day from the Foundation Fitness Initiative. I have been working out very hard, and although they do feed us pretty good, it is a lot when you're just getting started with it. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. If a person's memories are altered, how would one go about undoing it without letting the person realize that you are making them remember their real life? Let me say that again. That was a little confusing. If a person's memories are altered, how would one go about undoing it without letting the person realize that you are making them remember their real life? So, if you're dealing with someone whose memories have been altered, here at the Foundation we have Amnestics, which are a drug that causes you to forget things, and they come in various strength levels and various levels of targeting. I mean, you take the wrong amnestic and you could end up completely brain dead. Or you could have something as like trivial as the last 15 minutes erased from your memory. So it really depends on what grade of amnestic you take. Meanwhile, the opposite of amnestics are called Nastics. Now, it's said with an N, there's a silent M before the N, but it's amnestics without the A. It's Nastics. And Nastics are the opposite of amnestics. They make you remember things or hold on to memories in the case of anomalies that make you forget things. So, that would be, I believe, the first step in the situation, which is lucky at the Foundation. People dealing with amnesia in the real world, they do not have such advanced and anomalous chemicals to help them in their situations. You are right, Desk. Where is the Hawaiian shirt? Oh, yeah. After Site Director Steve saw yesterday's initial Containment Hazard Assessment Team meeting in the playback, he told me that I should probably dress a little more professionally if I'm going to be talking to you guys and educating. You've got to be respectable if you're going to be believed as an educator. So, you know, that makes a lot of sense. That's Site Director Steve. He's a clever guy. That's why he's the boss. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself an espresso on your way past the commissary if the commissary still exists. And thank you for the adorable waving corgi. Meanwhile, Yoshi, Pedro, and Overlord, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Now, one thing I noticed about just a little bit of a channel update, everyone, due to some extremely generous gifters the last week, Site 42 has broken 900 channel members. 900 green names are currently members here. That's insane. Our troops are growing in this upcoming, what I hear, possible battle against white names or something. And so it's important to have more troops. But also, there's a junior researcher Sally I was told to talk to. Yes, junior researcher Sally. I did a little research on the back end of the YouTube algorithm here, and what it tells me is that when you have around 900 members, you are allowed to have a total of something like 30 emojis. I'm double checking right now. When you have 900 members, you're allowed to have 29 emojis total. And then as we continue to gain membership, up to a maximum of, when we hit 5,000 or more members, that means we're allowed to have 54 total emojis. And so I think what we need to do is we need to start talking now, because if chat is going to be as generous as it is with the gifting of memberships, then we should also start to chart out a list of emojis, a nice spreadsheet or something, very organized, that has the different researcher Sherman emojis that we want, but also different anomalies. And perhaps somewhere in the Site42 Discord server, we could start having submissions to what emojis we want from the SCP world. Because obviously, everyone yesterday seemed very excited about SCP-999. I guess that's a well-liked little anomaly, so that would be a good emoji. I see a couple in here, such as Plague Doctor, which that's 049 we discovered yesterday. And then there's a tree. Is that 4521? Wow, you guys are really excitable about this tree, huh? Well, if it's an emoji, it's an emoji. But we can get some more going. And so, to junior researcher Sally out there, let's, in the back channel, start to discuss this a little more seriously. Because we will be able to, I believe we can get up to 5,000 members, which means I believe we can get to 54 emojis. Because here's something you might not know about me. I'm a little bit of a stickler for details. And so if I'm going to have that many emojis and all those badges, I'm the kind of person who would want them to all be under the same art style. It just kind of would annoy me if they were different. So I would want to see the emojis and the badges all unified in art style. That would make me very brain tickly in the art side of things. So let's start planning this, because we can make this happen. We can make this happen, I think. All right, let me go back to the chat. And there's a Ko-Fi to check real quick. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating through the Ko-Fi again. Can a mobile task force captain make a researcher take Nastics? If so, I'm ordering you to take some. Well, that's not exactly the chain of command here. Any sort of researcher having a Amnestic treatment would go through medical. It would go through maybe through the on-site therapist who's putting you through a scenario you may have forgotten for certain reasons. It's not going to be a soldier to researcher interaction. That's just not the chain of command. Harvey Bishop, thank you for donating again. The chicken-like SCP I asked you to get them cleared away nearly 6 weeks ago now. Well, once again, you must have been talking to somebody else, because I'm just an archive and records guy. I'm in the audiophonics lab reading SCPs from text onto audio files, or listening to audio files and transcribing them to text, back and forth, depending on the needs. And so I wouldn't be giving orders to clean up anything. Thank you for the sub on Desk Twitch, Dr. Sherman. Oh, well, of course, Souls of Chaos, and thank you for being a member here as well. I am happy to support the Deskverse community over on the Desk SCP on Twitch. It's a good little group of teamwork for, I hear Dr. Clef does some gaming over there, which has got to be a real hoot and a half to watch. Caden, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some beignets if, well, the commissary is there. You were right about SCP-8980. I read it and it reminded me why the Ethics Committee is my favorite branch. Omega-1 included, amazing read, depressing. I was right about SCP-8980? We're, as far as I know, only up to the 4000s in SCPs. I wouldn't know about anything higher than that. That's intriguing. Radical Ruination, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please make sure to grab yourself some nice halibut on your way past the commissary, if it's still there anyways. Welcome back, Doc. Glad to see you doing better. Oh yes, definitely. I was a little headachy yesterday, but today I am feeling much, well, I'd say mostly better. The workouts are pretty intense, so I'm still considering that rest day tomorrow. Singing Steel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a shrimp cocktail on your way past the commissary. Well, A, if the commissary is still there. And B, as long as it's not from Walmart, because I hear those shrimp are radioactive. Not even anomalous, just radioactive shrimp out in the world. Be careful, fam. Dr. Sherman, can you send a mobile task force to the main cafeteria? The coffee suddenly started speaking and insulting all the researchers, causing them to cry. Well, I'm not in charge of the mobile task forces. I'm just a records guy and archivist, but perhaps you can contact Site Director Steve, and Steve can send some people over? Cameron, thank you. Dr. Knight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some, let's say you can grab yourself, I mean, if the commissary's there anyways, a shepherd's pie on your way past there. Dr. Knight inquiry. What in 343 is happening? Who the 3667 is Steve? Did someone slip Dr. Sherman Amnestics? I go away for one day to hunt SCP-023 and nothing makes sense when I come back. Well, okay, calm down. I'm not sure where you're coming from here, but I'm level 2 researcher Dr. Theron Sherman, archivist and records keeper for the Foundation. Site Director Steve is, well, the site director of the site, my boss. And did you happen to catch SCP-023? Because, I mean, if it escaped, you should put it back, that's for sure. Chimera Sliver, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a macchiato on your way past the commissary if it still exists and if it's not insulting people, I guess. Dr. Sherman, I think I mixed in amnestics in the sugar pills that were sent out for use. Whoa, who's taking sugar pills in the first place? Huh. Weird. I mean, those are placebos. They're not meant to do anything. And we do a lot of things at the Foundation, but none of it is useless. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a craft cola on your way past the commissary, if it's still there. Hey Doc, tie looks great on you, but are you really going to let Steve tell you how to work your style? Well, thank you. This is a very fine tie. I do appreciate it. I got this as a present from a student back in the day. But, I mean, are you really going to let Steve tell you how to work your style? I mean, he is the boss, and I am at work, so it makes sense that I would follow the workplace conduct, standards of conduct and dress code, right? That's not upsetting to me at all. Sin, Thank you for gifting 5 Site-42 memberships to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Your generosity in this so-called battle against the white names is very kind of you. And if you got a membership from Sin, make sure to thank them for their generosity. Look up Site-42 on YouTube. You will be surprised. Well, Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for buying me a coffee. I can pull up YouTube. I'd have to do so on the back channels, I guess, because if we're looking up SCP Foundation things, it's not going to be seen to the public. So what does the Site-42 YouTube channel look like? Yep, I see we're currently live on the Site-42 channel. I see our I see our setup, and I see our current stream is live because it is a beautiful day in the Archives and Records Department. And this is interesting. We're Fan Art Friday? That sounds like a very interesting idea. Maybe that's something that was done back in the day and we can pick it up. Harvey Bishop, thank you for donating again. I reported chicken-like SCPs about 6 weeks ago and you said that you would clear them, but they are still here. Well, as I said, you must be mistaking me for someone else, because I did not take any reports of any security situations, not as a records and archivist. Come on, that's not my department. I don't mean to pass the buck, of course. It's just I'm not qualified to do anything about that, so I don't know why you would tell me in the first place. Dr. Sherman, what happened last stream? Well, intern de hell, last stream was my first stream doing these containment hazard assessment meetings, and it was, I think, overall a pretty successful stream. We had some good conversation about some anomalies. I learned some things, you learned some things, and then, you know, I mean, not to complain, but I've been getting these headaches, and I think it's from the intensity of the morning workouts, but, you know, that's not here nor there. That's nobody's problem. But, yeah, I'm sure I'm just getting used to it. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Or no, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some chili on your way past the commissary, if the commissary still exists. Do you know 8980? I'm afraid it's happening to you. We're not past 4,000s in the database, which would make SCP-4999 the last one on the list. We don't have anything past that. That's really... must be some sort of timeonology. Can you see the future? Can you see what's going on in other timelines? Because then we'd have to report you as a temporal anomaly. We'd have to run some tests to make sure. And I mean, if you can see the future, that would very much benefit the Foundation. They would really want to talk to you about that. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again to the Ko-Fi. If you look at the streams before last stream, you will find yourself in the streams before the last stream, is what you're saying? I mean, I can go to the playlist and I can look at the streams. And yeah, there's certainly a lot of streams. This Containment Hazard Assessment Team has been running for a while. It seems like a nice way to update people on things, so I see no problem with that. All right, chat's back in action. Terragal, thank you for donating again. Just doing a test, SCP-729-J, so how does this make you feel? Well, I looked into it a little bit yesterday when it was recommended, and it seemed like it was something that not a lot of people liked. Even the researcher writing the documentation was very unprofessional. So I only read about the first 2 paragraphs before I decided it's probably not worth looking into in a public setting, because if it's that upsetting, I don't want to have a reaction on stream. How do I become member? Well, Raptor7, the thing about memberships on YouTube is that they don't really function on mobile very easily, because YouTube doesn't want to let Apple or Google Play stores take a cut of it. So you have to go to a desktop computer to get through, or go to your phone's browser and look it up via a desktop site. You have to request the desktop site through your browser to buy a membership if you're on mobile. It's a little tricky, but I've gone through it for creators I wanted to support before. Shinraset, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some tacos at the commissary, if there still is a commissary. Theoretically, Nastic to remember SCP-55. Well, we can't remember something that doesn't exist. We don't have a 55. Weird. Derek, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Jello on your way past the commissary, if the commissary still exists. Site director, love the hair. Wait. Don't give me too much credit. I'll get a big inflated ego over here. No, I'm just a level 2 researcher. I'm an archivist, guys. Come on. I know that I'm teaching you guys about the Foundation, but that doesn't make me the boss. The boss is obviously Site Director Steve. Okay, who's the richest in the SCP verse? The Foundation, the Global Occult Coalition, or Marshall Carter and Dark? And where does the Foundation get the money? So, as far as I know, the Global Occult Coalition is like the UN's version of the Foundation, and that means that they are run on governmental budgets, which are never easy to get. So while they are funded, I don't think they're that flush. Meanwhile, the Foundation and Marshall Carter and Dark are both funded by dark money, trillionaires, hiding in their fancy houses, doing things with the anomalous. And the Foundation does them to contain and research, and Marshall Carter and Dark does them for profit. And so probably the Marshall Carter and Dark probably gets more funding because it's a profit-based organization, and therefore they are given more resources. It turns out that research and containment isn't the most profitable venture, although we do all right. 4 freaking pixels and Mankey, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Cyber Crow, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and grab yourself some bread on your way past the commissary, if there is one. SCP-5545 was the Infinite Hallways, I remember now. Again, I don't know that we have any SCPs past 4999, but if you've got something like that going on, I guess, in your universe, well, that's fine? Huh. Chimera Sliver, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service doing good research. It's very important for us to research here at the Foundation. Do you remember the SCP Cake by the Ocean? I forgot the number, but yeah, you should look into it. Also, this music is great. What is it? Intern Silly Boy, we are currently looking at listening to an album called Polka 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 by artist Kevin MacLeod. Polka Polka Polka. Harvey Bishop, thank you for donating again. It was you. I asked you, and you said you would report them to higher up. It was about 6 SCP-3991 instances. Now it's 10. Can I get an update on the clearing team? Well, listen. I understand you're upset. I do not recall this interaction, so some sort of miscommunication must have happened here. But I can tell you that Site Director Steve will be on top of this. He's always on the ball. Dr. Sherman, why haven't I been paid in 1 month and 1 week? Well, Agent Bryson, you should have been paid monthly, so an extra week is not good. But I don't know what you're asking an archivist for. You gotta take that to admin. Cypher's Girl, thank you for your 4-month member message here at Site 42 as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate the work you're doing helping us research. That's what we're here to do. We're here to secure, contain, protect, and unofficially study. Dr. Sherman, here's some candy that's totally not Nastics. Well, I do enjoy a sweet from now and again. I'll have to get that a little later once I am done with this meeting. The Computer Guy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some cookie dough on your way past the commissary, if the commissary still exists. I think it was you who told me that the commissary's gone? You'll have to fill me in on that. Look at the bracelets on your arm, the ones that your longtime friend gave you, and explain why you get sad when looking at them. Come on, remember. Bracelets? I mean, they have a watch. That's... what? What are you talking about? Lord Beans, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself some francs on your way past the commissary, if it still exists. I need to know if SCP-999 is offspring of the Scarlet King. Well, that would be crazy. Yesterday we just read about that. It's just a little goofball. I can't imagine 999 being any sort of, like, demon. I mean, any more than any anomaly is a demon to the organized religions of the world. You know how it is. They're so superstitious. I'll have to talk to some people around the water cooler and see what I find out there. Mentally Lost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Why don't you grab yourself some pie on your way past the commissary that may or may not exist. That thing is out of containment, and with what I saw it do with a dime, I can see why you're all scared of it, but I find it quite entertaining. Adios. That thing is out of containment. What thing? What do you mean? Weird. I like the dye in your hair, man. Well, thank you very much, Intern United. I do feel quite bonita. Zaragosta, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and grab yourself a milkshake on your way past the commissary that may or may not exist. Besides the Foundation, what is the most powerful and influential group of interest? Global Coalition, Chaos Insurgency, Church of the Broken God, Marshall Carter and Dark. So if I were to look at the group of interest registry on the Foundation, no, not Groupons. The most powerful of these groups, if I had to put one at top tier, raw force, I would have to give it to either the Serpent's Hand, because they are numerous and they can wield thaumaturgical magics, and that is pretty powerful. Obviously, the Global Occult Coalition is, while not as vast as the Serpent's Hand, they do have a lot of anomalous technologies that they use for battle. And since they're particularly battle-focused, that might make them part of this power ranking. Otherwise, I would leave it to the Church of the Broken God and the Sarkic cults, because they are both rather aggressive and vast forces with brute force for when it comes to the flesh creatures or the mechanists. So that's what I would probably rank as the most powerful forces of the anomalous world. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Look up SCP-5478. Trust me, it's in the database. Well, okay. 5478, you say? I'll take it on blind faith. Five, 4, 7, 8. I mean, nothing's gonna come up. Or something will come up. Level 3 confidential? Oh, I'm not supposed to be looking at this. I'm only a level 2 researcher. How did I even access this? Or did you do something with this? How did you... I can't look at this. I'm gonna get in trouble. I should not be dealing with anomalies level 3 classification. I do not need InfoSec bringing down the hammer on me on my second day of meeting with you guys for reading things above my classification. They do not like it when you breach security protocols around here. Jonathan Peters, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a gyro on your way past the commissary that may or may not exist. Dr. Sherman, how would you contain the holy hand grenade of Antioch? Wow, I get that reference. All right, the counting shall be to 3. Not 2, not 4. 5 is right out. But 3, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. So, I mean, it seems fine if you put it in a box and don't pull the pin. So, yeah, just box it up. Amber, thank you for your first donation to the Ko-Fi today. We appreciate you making the effort to avoid giving YouTube 30% of the fee. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of chicken wings on your way past the commissary that may or may not exist. Hey, Doc, do you remember Dr. Christopher... Bird? Isn't he the greatest guy? Ow. I don't know anyone by that name, but I have a sudden visceral response to it. Is this... I might have to bring that up with the on-site therapist later on today. Perhaps there's some sort of hidden trauma in my past that I have been repressing or something. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. It's fine, I'll take responsibility. For reading a level 3 document, I can't put you through that. The things they do to people who breach the information security around here is intense. We can't do that. That's against protocol. And you know, it's very important here at the Foundation. We follow protocol. Harvey Bishop, thank you for donating again. As a level 1 researcher, I demanded an update on the strike team that should I'll be clearing the 3 991s near my house. Well, again, please, Steve will be working on this soon, obviously. If you submit your request to Steve for security help, obviously Steve's going to help you out. He's right on top of things as a site director. Dr. Knight, thank you for donating again. 023 safely recaptured. MacArthur once again demoted to D class for letting it out, and I quote, because it looked like a good boy. Well, that is a horrible reason to release an anomaly. And yes, although it is in fact a dog anomaly, it should not be released just because it's a dog. AJ Guzman, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the hypothetical commissary. I wonder if SCP-085 would love to see the fan art. I can't imagine any anomaly should be getting fan art. They're supposed to be secret. They wouldn't have fans. Codename Hand-Drawn Cassie is the result of an experiment conducted between 067 and 914. Drew a single female figure. Ooh, so we created this anomaly. Ooh, the Foundation doesn't like creating anomalies, so that probably did not go well for whoever made that test. So it interacts with any drawn object on the same page as it were real, so it's not that every time you make art of it, that comes to life. That would be different. So yes, I would not put fan art of it on its own paper, because then it would be interacting with itself, and that could cause some problems. Sin, thank you for donating again, or I think this might be your first donation that isn't membership, so thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a tart on your way past the commissary. Watched the Site 42 stream 2 days ago from 106 to 140. You're not signed your anomalous assistant, Sin. I didn't know I had an assistant. Level 2 researchers don't normally get assistants. But okay, when we're done today, I'll have to look into that. I can't look into it now while I'm on stream, but I can look into it later. Java name, thank you for your incredibly generous 50 gifted memberships to Site 42. Your generosity to our Containment Hazard Assessment team is legendary. And please, if you are getting a membership from Java name, make sure to thank them for their generosity. Incredible. Dr. Sumerian. Oh, you're from the Ethics Committee. Oh, okay, hi. Hi there. What brings you to the Audiophonics Lab to talk with us? Oh, you're streaming again. Do you have that ethics report finished already? Sir, I hate to say this, but I don't know what ethics report you're talking about. Maybe it went into spam in my Skipnet email address. I'm sorry. I'm writing down a note right now. Sumerian wanted an ethics committee report Are you sure you didn't mean to send that to Site Director Steve? I mean, he would be the one filtering a report like that. I don't know what you would want a records and archivist transcriptionist like me to do with the next ethics committee report. But yes, if there's one for me, I'll get it done, I promise. Yes, as soon as I'm done on stream. Ah, you don't remember, so you've definitely reviewed the SCP you were supposed to look at. Listen, Dr. Sumerian, I don't know how to apologize enough. This is my second day running these containment hazard assessment team meetings, so I'm sorry if I seem a little stressed. This is kind of a lot on my plate right now, but I promise you, I will scour my inboxes, I will find where these are, and we will cover these. We will catch up. On my honor as a Foundation researcher. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Doc, we are almost at 9,000 SCPs, and I need you to research 3086, 5542, and 8980 as soon as possible. This is urgent, remember us? We're almost at 9,000 SCPs? That can't be. That can't be right. Last I checked, we were only in the 4,000s. At least that's all this transcribing I've been doing. And I try to keep up with all the transcriptions because obviously you got to keep things archived at the highest level. So if I'm 5,000 behind, that would be very intense. That'll be a lot of all-nighters, that's for sure. See that you do. We've been waiting for 2 days now. The higher-ups are getting antsy. Right away, Dr. Sumerian. That will be my first priority. Before archiving any of these new anomalies people are saying we have. Because, as I said, as far as I know, we're only up to 4,000 something. 4999 is the last SCP, so if there's anything 5,000 and up, no one's told me about it. I mean, there was that one that you just showed me, 5478, but that was level 3 classified, and I'm only a level 2 researcher. I'm not allowed to read that. We will figure this out. We will figure this out. Officer Kin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and grab yourself a fruit salad on your way past the Schrodinger's commissary, I guess. Hello, it's Alpha 1. I heard that SCP-1000 is in Washington. Would you like us to go get him? Well, SCP-1000, that sounds familiar. Codename Bigfoot. Oh, well that's straightforward. Yes. Okay. Well, if there's a Bigfoot running around, we gotta contain that. So please, I mean, we'll obviously run it by Site Director Steve first. I don't want to go over his head here, but yeah, probably. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. Wait, if an SCP number doesn't exist past 4999, does that mean I can just leave my containment cell? Well, if you're in containment and you have a designation, then you should probably pay attention to that more than a level 2 researcher who doesn't quite know what's going on today. Ay, ay, ay. Raccoon Dog, thank you for donating again. How do your fellow researchers and colleagues feel about Steve? Any rumors going around? Well, I don't mean to be a gossip, but first of all, Site Director Steve, on the level, just fantastic attention to detail. With the fitness regimen, the dietary cleanup to keep everyone in good shape. I mean, who can argue with that? And then everything seems to be fine going around the office. I'm not hearing any complaints. Of course, I don't really get out of the archives and records room very often anyways, so kind of You could call me a little bit of a shut-in, but... Crazy Crafter! Good to see you in the chat. You're one of our documentarians, yes. Always good to have a fellow SCP record keeper in the chat. Excellent. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some pork belly on your way past the commissary that may or may not exist. SCP-4416, written almost 7 years ago. Please look it up and see the name of its site director. Oh, yes, this is one that was pointed out to me yesterday. 4416. And honestly, I messed up yesterday because this is also a level 3 confidential document. So I wasn't supposed to be looking at this. I was just excited to hang out with you guys, and I kind of skipped by that. Dr. Sumerian, I did not mean to go look at something that's above my pay grade, okay? I'm sorry. It won't happen again. It won't happen again. But yes, this one seems to have some sort of multiversal shenaniganery where I was site director of Site 42? It's something to work towards in the future, maybe. You know how these chronological SCP shenanigans get to be, so maybe one day we'll make our way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and we're homebound. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Look up 8980 then. All right, you guys have been bringing this one a lot of attention, but if the classification level is beyond what I can look at, I mean, I can't do anything about that. 8980. All right, gotta be careful. Ethics Committee ID case file, that's important. Clearance. Level 3 Ethics Committee Plus only. I can't look at this, guys. It's against regulations. Jacob, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a slice of cake on your way past the Schrodinger's commissary. How do you can tell us this and not be killed? Well, okay, you might be a sleeper agent waking up from a situation right now, so you might not be in the know. But this broadcast is only broadcast to people who are involved with the SCP Foundation. So we're not revealing the secrecy here. This is only for insiders. We have a deal going with Google's parent company, Alphabet, and they, run YouTube. And we run through back channels in the YouTube app that only goes to Foundation assets. So either you are a Foundation staff member, which is to be expected. Sometimes in some multiverse universes, they let anomalies have cell phones. And so if you might be an anomaly in containment and still have a phone for some reason, that's crazy. With limited internet access, of course, they're not able to communicate with the public. Meanwhile, there's also broken masquerade universes where everyone knows about the Foundation, and so we do PR, we have to talk to them. And finally, there are sleeper agents who are being woken up every day, and their job is to infiltrate groups of interest. And so if that's the case, and this is the first time you're knowing that you're part of the Foundation, there's a dossier under your seat, and it'll tell you the details of your mission. So Godspeed, agent. And of course, when I say God, I'm referring to SCP-343 because, it's just a little turn of phrase around these Foundation parts. Magnibus and Zay the King, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Terragal, thank you for donating again. They let me out of the box. They told me that Steve was the one who ordered me into a box. Luckily, an 05 member helped me out. He's an old friend. You're friends with an overseer? I thought they were just a myth. Really? I thought the overseers were just something the site directors told us younger researchers. Yeah, maybe they exist. Weird. Anna, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some muffins on your way past the commissary. Hey, Doc. Well, hello to you too. Derek, thank you for donating again. Researcher, is the SCP versus SCP still going on? We need to test 616 against 682 and 096. Also, SCP-094 wants to study the circuit cults, can he? Well, you have to talk about Site Director Steve about any cross-testing. That's very strictly limited here at the Foundation due to inexperienced researchers doing unconscionable experiments. So be careful with that. Talk to Site Director Steve. Jonathan Peters, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, I have site security coming to secure you for a containment breach. Open the door in 2 minutes. Well, I need to figure that out in a little bit. I'm still in the middle of a meeting. You can't interrupt the meeting. That's against regulations. I have to finish the job here. All right, double check here. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating the Ko-Fi again. Ask for permission from the Ethics Committee member in the chat then. Is Dr. Sumerian allowed to grant me a higher clearance level? I mean, he is the Ethics Committee liaison. I mean, I wouldn't ask for something like that. That seems untoward, especially for something that's unnecessary to my work. Senior Researcher Frogman, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Pocky on your way past the commissary that may or may not exist. I, a level 3 researcher, get permission to read 5784. You see, I don't know. It seems like I've got to get that permission from the site director. It doesn't seem like something that can just be willy-nilly handed around, you know what I mean? I'm not on the 5784 project, so it's not my business to intrude. I'm sorry. Anna, thank you for donating again. I'm Anna, one of the Mobile Task Force captains. I have a twin named Pinky. You'll see her in chat occasionally. Oh, all right. Well, thank you for making it so I can tell you guys apart. Much obliged. No twin shenanigans around here, chicanery, I understand. The Foundation is full of people, but they still do like their pranks. That's fair. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again. Oh, I see I may have contacted the wrong version of you by either space or time. Please report of interaction to the nearest guard for amnesticization for this convo might be anomalous. Goodbye, dear sir. Is that what you guys are on about? Is this some sort of... Are we beaming to a universe where things are not exactly how you expect? I don't know what to do about that, but hopefully everything's okay where you are. I know so far things are okay for me, except for these migraines, but I'll take a rest day from the Foundation Fitness Initiative tomorrow. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Sir Pidgeous Bird, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some carrot cake on your way past the commissary. Dr. Pidgeous Bird from Medical here. Your headaches are of some concern. Please report to my office at your earliest convenience. Keep it low profile. Well, I would not want to cause a fuss. Yeah, I can check in with Medical. I'll be there after the stream, I guess. Officer Kin, thank you for donating again. This is Alpha 1. We are in target area of SCP-1000. The Bigfoot, right. He will be northwest, about 500 clicks from Seattle. Do we have permission to engage? Again, you can't ask a records and archivist this. You gotta bring it to the site director, man. Site Director Steve can give you clearance, but I'd assume containment is first priority, but clear it by the higher-ups. The chain of command is very important. The Computer Guy, thank you for your 2-month membership message. As a level 1 researcher, we appreciate the research you do here at the Foundation. The commissary is now in a very inconvenient spot. Where is that? Where is that? Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Did you see my message? Are you talking about the earlier donation that I answered from you? I think I did. And then, did you happen, I know sometimes the Ko-Fi doesn't refresh. Did I miss something there? I'm not seeing anything new in the Ko-Fi. Your message earlier was regarding SCP-4416, and that's the one that I'm not allowed to read due to its security classification level being level 3, and I'm only a level 2 researcher. So that's all I can do there. I can't look at that documentation. It's against regulations. Yeah, I know you saw Sorry Dimensions is lagging in the stream. That's fine. That's totally fine. No need for apologies. I got you covered. We're good. We're good. Cameron, thank you for donating again. Mobile Task Force 043, Lamar, Incident 173-redacted. What? Lamar? I wasn't supposed to go that way. Oh. What was that? How peculiar. Ugh. Terragal, thank you for donating again. Yes, I'm friends with an overseer. Wow, that's intense. He told me he's looking into unauthorized use of amnestics. Unauthorized use of amnestics, that's gonna cause a whole lot of trouble. We gotta be careful with that. Seriously Sarcastic, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself I guess, some chips from the break room since Computer Guy moved the commissary, which I don't even know how they did that. That's weird. Dr. Sherman, I have bad news. The iPods are loose again and no one can seem to find them. Sorry? I don't know of any Apple iPods that are anomalous in any way to get loose. That's peculiar. So many things here at the Foundation. It's hard to keep track of them all. Michael Bichelle, someone just gifted me a membership. Well, the gifter of the day right now is Java Name, who dropped a solid 50 donations on the stream today. So that might be who did it, if I'm guessing correctly. Okay. Sheeny, we're planning on overthrowing Steve. You're talking about treason in the Containment Hazard Assessment Team? You guys, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. You that's gotta be a joke. That's gotta be a joke. You're just a bunch of silly billies. That's all. That's so funny when I think about it. Thank you. Okay. Now I gotta be careful what I read. Sometimes you take things too seriously because tone is hard to indicate in text. That's a funny joke. Pinky, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Blintz on your way past the commissary, if you can find it, that is. Hi, I'm Pinky. Well, hello, Pinky. Your twin Anna told me about you earlier. Nice to meet you. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Doctor, please remember Lillian Marley. Do I know that name? It's familiar. Why is it familiar? Oh, I'm not feeling really well, chat. Those migraines are coming in really intensely. I think we're soon to be at the end of stream, guys. I'm not feeling well. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. I call upon the void, seal away my enemies, and make it so that all turns to dust. And Anaximus Invoco. I don't recognize these words you're saying here. Is this some sort of thaumaturgical incantation? That's more the thaumaturgy's department than mine. Dr. Sherman, please look up SCP-4521. It's important. That we looked that up earlier in today's stream. It's the tree that people seem really upset by. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Lillian Marley, Christopher Burns, remember. That's... yeah, that... I don't know. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again. That's because you're being given Amnestics by Steve to steal your position? That's absurd. That's an absurd assertion. Think about what you're talking about here. Site-42 has hundreds of people. Do you think they're just going to all... do you think Steve could possibly amnesticize the entire site? That's ridiculous. Why? That's an impossible plan. That couldn't be. We're all fraternizing with the anomalous entities. That sounds dangerous. You probably shouldn't do that, if I'm being honest. I don't mean to impose, but it seems like a breach of protocol. Michael Bichelle, thank you for donating, I think, again? But you didn't send a message, so just thank you for your generosity. And if this is your first donation, as well as being a member, thank you for that. And grab yourself some tea on your way past the, well, break room, I guess. I'd rate SCP-067 a 6 out of 7. Would you now? SCP-067, codenamed the Artist's Pen, is a fountain pen made by a German supply company called Pelican at some point between World War I and World War II. It is pale green in color, single red line going straight along the side. Extremely sharp nib, capable of piercing human skin if pressed even lightly. That sounds painful. Researchers surmise any subject holding 067 loses all autonomy of the hand and arm that grasps it. Full sensation is intact, but the arm below the elbow is controlled by unknown forces, theoretically centralized within 067. One effect is that the controlled hand will start to use the pen to write a detailed biography of the individual holding the pen. The biography will include such information as the person's name, age, date of birth, criminal record, fears, etc. Other times, the pen has been known to write such things as an occurrence that happened in the person's lifetime. For example, when test subject 1204M held SCP-067, he began to write a detailed report of a motor vehicle accident he had been in the year before. Later, the subject admitted to many details penned in the account were not readily available to him at a present time, i.e. the subject had forgotten many elements present in the written work, including his previous car's license plate number, the other vehicle's color, and so on. The subject stated that his memory of the event was so fresh in his mind during the transcription that he could taste the blood in his mouth. Wow. So it's a fountain pen that can make you write down biographical facts about you even if you don't remember them. That's could be very useful indeed. Very useful indeed. I can see why you enjoy that anomaly. Whoever that was who suggested it. That's a neat piece. Yes, intern fancy guy. Meanwhile, researcher Voidell. The most important thing in the past few streams, including this one, is the fact that the commissary is going through so much chaos. Well, researcher Voidell, thank you for your first Ko-Fi donation of today's stream. I believe you're a member as well. Make sure to grab yourself an empanada on your way past that crazy, crazy commissary. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Marley Burns 8980 Remember Doc. You know, it's just something about that just stresses me out. Darling Industrial, thank you for donating again. Did you just lampshade the flaws in the bit? I don't understand your question. I'm sorry, you'll have to clarify for me. Sin, thank you for donating again. Doctor, you got the permission from Dr. Douglas Clemens, the site director of Site 327, to read 5487. Sin, why would a site director from another site give me permission to read a random SCP document? This is absurd. I mean, yes, Dr. Sumerian was here, but he actually showed up. I just can't take this on word right now. Not when I'm already in so much trouble with the ethics committee over this missing documentation I must have misplaced the email about or something. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again. Remember, folks, amnestics are made to make people forget. Also, anti-memetic hazards do exist. So, Dr. Sherman, please report to your amnestics anti-memetic departments, and may you remember if allowed. Huh. And then Computer Guy, thank you for donating in. For supposed level 2 archivist and know of amnestics, you are very dismissive of all the documentation. And all staff try and tell you you've been amnesticized and not even bother looking into it. Well, I don't have any gaps in my memory. I remember the last couple of days, and I remember the last couple of weeks, and... And everything's fine. Everything's fine. Where's my... Oh, I dropped it. It's fine. I found it. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again. It's easy. He gives you amnestics and keeps you in the audiophonics lab and tells the rest of Site 42 you're still in quarantine. That's preposterous. Do you think anyone would not? Hey, Dr. Sherman, does it ever intrigue you that all of these streams are hosted by you, but you don't remember anything? I remember yesterday's stream. I remember yesterday's stream. I remember yesterday's stream. Yeah. Okay, chat. I understand your concern. If you guys are this concerned, I'll ask some questions after I get off. We're already 30 minutes past stream anyways. I've got to end this stream and get on with today's audio transcriptions. I've got a lot of voice work to do. But I will ask some questions when I'm done. I'm sure I can inquire through some channels what's happening on site, and Site Director Steve will tell me what's going on. Sus Woody, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself some tortillas on your way past the commissary, if you can find it, I guess. How do you think of subject 2D9341? I'm not familiar with that documentation, that D class. I'm not really keeping track of D class personnel particularly. Wait a minute. I've got a Skipnet message, but it doesn't have the from. It says to Dr. Theron Sherman, but it doesn't. It says to Site Director Dr. Theron Sherman. And there's no from field in the message. Not an empty from field. It's just a from. It's fromless. What? This is... I don't know what to make of this. It only says 3 sentences. It says, Site Director Steve is not the real Site Director. Site Director Steve is not the real Steve. You need to look inside. What is that? What could that mean? Containment Hazard Assessment Team. All right. All right. Okay. Listen, I'm going to end today's stream, but I'm going to unlist this one from the main Skipnet server, okay? It feels like possibly... I don't know what's happening. But let's for now keep this between you guys and us, all right? I'm gonna unlist this from the main servers, and I'll try and do some scouting tonight. But real quick, let me just get these last donos out of the way. Ask SCP-4357-J, Michael Bichelle. I'm unfamiliar with that anomaly, but a 4357-J? The Cooperative Demon is its code name? Do you really think we want to be involving demons? That seems a bit of a dangerous situation. And, Cameron, thank you for donating again. Let the headache win. Well, I don't need headaches, but maybe I can pick up some painkillers, something, and see what we can do. And I saw one more Ko-Fi. Let me get that before I run off. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Also, archives are never in the Audiophonics lab. If you are an archivist, the way you are in the Audiophonics lab instead of the archives. Look inside and wake up. All right. I'm going to, No, don't take the pills, Senior Researcher Frogman. Man, it doesn't feel great. Sus Woody, I do not know how 049 is doing, but thank you for donating again. And don't tell Steve anything. You guys are really sure about this, huh? Mysterious messages. You guys are really, really sure of yourselves here. Sin, thank you for donating again. Yeah, don't tell Steve, you say. And Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Be careful, Doc. We believe in you. Wake up. Okay, this is... All right, we'll worry about an outro later. But everyone, thank you for supporting the Foundation and at Site-42 in specific. And take care of yourself. Be safe, be well. Secure, contain, protect. And I'll see you in tomorrow's Containment Hazard Assessment Team stream. Cheers from Level 2 Researcher. I'll see you later. How can you see into my eyes like open doors, leading you down into my core, where I've become so numb, without a soul. My spirit sleeping somewhere cold, until you find it there and lead it back home. Wake me up inside, can't wake up. Wake me up inside, save me, call my name and save me from the dark. Wake me up, bid my blood to run, I can't wake up before I come undone. Save me from the nothing I've become. Bring me to life. I've been living a lie. There's nothing inside. Bring me to life. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for your last-minute donation of Asking 682. I don't feel that Blizzard has ever been a sensible place of advice. But, hey, anything is possible right now, right? Secure, contain, protect.